So here is the awesome meat store that I get all of my delicious meats from. Sometimes I go to the DeKalb County Farmers Market. Look, there's your ribeye right there, and pork belly. Woohoo! So excited. Here we are in the kitchen. I've purchased this meat. This is the one that I got. So I'm going to show you this bad boy. This is so exciting. This is like my favorite part of getting pork belly. I bring it home and take this beautiful piece of meat out of the packaging. Okay, this is the bottom. Oh, there's a rogue piece over there. Ooh, look at that. Now, if you have never had pork belly before, it's basically, if you look at the side there, it's basically just a big bacon. It is what bacon is cut from. So that's how you know this is like gonna be delicious. This is the bottom part, and this is the top part where if it was still on a pig, this is the skin. A lot of people, when they prep it, will cut a lot of this fat off. Like there's an extra layer there. You're welcome to cut it off if you don't want as much fat. But I like it very fatty, personally. That's really where you get your rich, like the richest flavors is through this fat here. Actually, I might trim some of this up right here. But yeah, this is gonna be pretty good. I've got some salt here, some light brown sugar, and then a mix of spices that I'm going to be rubbing on this bad boy. And this is gonna go into the refrigerator until tomorrow. So it's going to get rubbed and massaged and loved and then sit in the fridge to await smoking. I've trimmed it about how I like it. So I'm gonna start with the salt, sugar, and then the seasonings. I'm actually gonna put the seasonings on first because it doesn't really need a lot of seasoning. This is actually a mixture of regular black pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, and cayenne pepper. So I'll grab some of the sugar here. This is light brown sugar. Tomorrow I'll be using dark brown sugar before it goes on the grill. I just prefer it that way. You're welcome to use dark brown sugar. I've actually used regular white sugar like on a pork belly before, and it has the same effect. So it's all up to your personal tastes, what kind of sugar you use. Now this is a very thick, like coarse salt there. I don't know if you can see. This is super, super big chunky pieces of salt. This is gonna be, it's great for brining. It's great for meats. I used it on steak when I do ribeye on the grill. I really, really like this coarse salt right here. Okay, give that a good, massage and pat down. Rub it up, rub it up. Don't forget the sides. I'll come back for that. And then I'll flip this bad boy, and then we will do it all again. Everyone does it differently. And there are some diehard like grill masters that will tell you do not, do not even season it beforehand with certain meats. And I always season my meats beforehand. So just do what you like, Now it's just time to, I'm actually going to put it back in the bag I got it out of, since it's still raw pork for the most part. And then I'm going to leave it in the refrigerator this way until tomorrow when I'm ready to start. Hey there, so it's been a day, not a full 24 hours, but it has been, it is now almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So let's take this bad boy out. It has been brining overnight. And it's fluids are coming out, which is good. That's what you want. It seems backwards, like you put salt on it, and that means it's you know, pulling the fluid out of the meat. But actually, when you cook it, it makes it so much more tender. It is just buttery smooth when you brine it. So this is something that I probably should have done yesterday, but I'm going to go ahead and just do it right now. And before I season this to go on the grill, which I'll be using as a smoker. So I will be cutting into this like diagonally this way and then going across the other way. This is gonna help, you know, get all that seasoning right in here. The flavor kind of a little bit further down, and it cooks it a little bit more evenly that way. So let's go ahead and make our cuts here. This seasoning is garlic powder, onion powder, cayenne pepper, chipotle chili powder, and then just regular salt and pepper. And that is what I'm using to just do a general rub down right now. I've used the dark brown powder dark brown sugar as opposed to the light brown sugar I used yesterday. And this is going to serve as just a little bit of seasoning there. This is super optional. Like, I'm also using a sauce, so the fact that I'm doing a dry rub and a wet sauce, some people say is overkill. I don't really care. This is how I like it. So it's just really up to your preferences. You know, watch a few videos on this and just, you can see all the different ways that people will do. You know, they do it however they want. I'm going to probably keep some of this in here to use when it is time for me to make my sauce. This side I'm not going to be doing the diagonals on because it's all muscle for the most part, but I will be rubbing it down. This is the beginnings of the sauce. Again, onion powder, garlic powder, chili powder. I also put chipotle chili powder, cayenne pepper, dark brown sugar, and then we will have a wonderful lineup of honey. I use this organic ketchup instead of tomato paste. I just like it. And then Worcestershire sauce. Yeah, so I don't measure anything because I'm that kind of cook. I'm that kind of person. I am that person that does not measure things. I just kind of like do it to taste. So I'm gonna do a little bit more brown sugar than that. Put a little bit in there. But we'll also add honey too, so it's gonna be double sweet, but tangy and spicy with the cayenne a little bit. Before we head on outside to look at the grill, I would like to show you here that we have apple wood. They've been in here for about 35 minutes, which is not nearly long enough for some of these bigger pieces, but you'd ideally want to leave them in for an hour or so, or even a little bit longer. But you'll know when they're ready, when they start to sink below the water. They've been saturated. But this is going to be the smoking. Like, this is what is going to give you the smoke. You can get whatever wood you want. I prefer apple wood. There's cherry wood, mesquite, hickory, you know, anything. I just like apple wood with pork. Guys, it is a rainy day today. Cloudy and ugly, so we're gonna do our best. But to prep right now, I've put aluminum foil here in the bottom to catch all the fat drippage that's coming off. And I put a container, this is actually a bread pan, of just water to keep everything moist so it doesn't dry out. But what has dried out, it looks like my fire is gone. So let's try and revive that bad boy. So this is my chimney. It's just, you can get one of these at Home Depot. You just put your charcoal in there and it feeds the air there through the bottom so it gets all evenly lit, as opposed to just putting it in the bottom of the grill and lighting it from the top. This ensures that it's very even. We're gonna make sure that those start cooking and get even, and once they do, then we will get started out here. So we've got finally the coals going here. And after the coals start to get like a good even glow to them, just dump them in there and put some unlit coals, charcoal or whatever, on top, like this one here and that one. We're not completely lit, so you don't want it flaming or too hot. We're gonna try our best this time to keep it around 200 degrees for about five and a half hours. And what also helps to keep the temperature down is the handy dandy wood chips that we have here. So we'll sprinkle those on top. That was not great. Okay, so as you can see, we have the coals there and the wood chips that's getting it smoking. The meat is going to go on this side, so I have this vent open so that it can feed the coals, and then when I close it, this chimney here is open so that the air is forced to go this way and just go over the meat there. So I will be rotating it at some point. At this time, I will mop, you know, some of the sauce there. I usually have to remake the sauce a few times throughout this process. But I'm gonna go ahead and just mop this here. It's a little thick, so I'm gonna add a little apple cider vinegar, but yeah, add some apple cider vinegar, get it a little runnier so it's easier to spread there, and then this is just what you're gonna do for 5 more hours. Keep an eye on your temperature here. You don't really want it to go above about 250 there, but if you have a smoker, it's much easier. If it's just a regular grill, it's not quite as easy, but so we'll check on it in about an hour and a half.
2 hours later.
So far, we're still doing okay on temperature. It's been flipped over, and there you can see I've added more of the wood chips, and yeah, everything seems to be in order. So that's our checkup, and we'll check on it. I will show you the next checkup at about 4 hours.
2 hours later.
And we're back. This is after about 4 hours. I've flipped it, and I've actually lit the coals this time. This is something that is super controversial. A lot of other grill masters are probably going to rip me apart for doing this, but after it's been smoking, it is currently 6:30. After it's been smoking for about 5 hours, around 200 degrees, yeah, a little over 200 degrees, I cook it. I just kind of get a nice char on the outside of it. A lot of grillers will wrap this in aluminum foil to keep the juices in. As you can see, we are still plentiful with the juices. I just don't choose to do that, but if you are new, I do suggest wrapping it in aluminum foil and putting it back on a very hot grill. And then I can't even tell you how long I'm gonna leave this on here. I'm waiting for it to get real nice and warm, and then we're gonna char this baby, and I'll show you the end product. Okay, we're all finished finally. And this is my finished product. Like I said, I like to get a good char on the outside of it. It's crunchy and just nice and caramelized. Look at those juices. Oh my gosh. So pretty. Ooh, that looks nice. It even has, oh, you see this? Some of the redness there from the flames and the smoke there. That is nice. Yeah, it's slightly, just a little cooked for too long, but it's nice and juicy. The reason it cooked for too long is because I decided to go to the gym in the middle of doing this, but it is, I'm excited about this. Yeah, there's the one. That's more like it, yeah. There you go. Looks great. Let's see. Put some barbecue sauce on this. Alright. taste it. Hey guys. It's good. It is a little overcooked, but it is not, it's good. There you go. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this, and be sure to subscribe if you aren't already.